Hi, everybody. Dan Illman here, taking a look at the Stronach 5 sequence for Friday, June the 12th. The Stronach 5 offers a $100,000 gross pool guarantee, a low 12% takeout for this $1 minimum wager. And this Stronach 5 wager on Friday, one of the more challenging I've seen in a long time. Several of these fields full of first-time starters. As usual, I'm filming this pre-scratches, program changes, track conditions, etc. I will give you my preliminary opinions. And when it's time for you to make your final decisions, please consult DRF's Ticket Maker. It's the most efficient way to play these multiple leg wagers utilizing Steve Christ's A, B, and C ranking method. Let's take a look at the first leg of this Stronach 5 sequence. It is race number 8 at Laurel Park on Friday. We're going 1 mile and a 16th, and it has an approximate post time of 4:25 Eastern. To me, there's a lot of pace in this race, and it could set things up for a closer. And one of the closers I'm looking at a big price is on the outside. That is the number 14 in this field. That is I'm Listening. Now, I'm Listening, like many of these horses, returning off of a layoff, but the last time she raced was at the Meadowlands on October the 11th, and she caught a race with no pace whatsoever. She was down towards the inside, last on the rail on the far turn, finally got to the outside in the stretch, and she was running on in the lane, but the leaders just had too much of a tactical advantage on her. There was no pace for her to attack. It should be a completely different situation for I'm Listening this time around. I'm hoping Mary Epler has her ready off of the layoff, because if she does, I'm Listening at 10-1 on the morning line can come with a nice late run. I also want to use I'm Listening with the 9 Tass and the 13 Ebullient as my A plays. Tass looked really good, winning 2 turf races in a row in New York last year. They then stepped her up into the Winter Memories Stakes last time out. It was a tough race contested over a yielding turf course. Tass pressed a very fast pace and understandably tired. Trevor McCarthy takes the mount on Tass, 6-1 on the morning line. She can be forwardly placed, but I also think she can sit a bit, and that could be important in a race with so much pace. The likely pace setter, in my opinion, is the 13 Ebullient, getting back to turf for Michael Matz. 2 starts back, she raced on the turf, and she was just a runaway. She was very, very difficult for Jose Ortiz to handle. She pulled her way out to a lonely lead while going extremely fast, and she simply burned herself out. That situation might replicate itself on Friday, but if she can relax on the lead, she has run some Beyer speed figures, including that race 3 starts back, that would make her tough. 9-2 on the morning line. Avery Wiseman has the mount. I'm not sure what I want to do with the number 12, Jabuta Kaba. She's a horse that maybe I'd like to use as a B or a C in my final ticket maker play. She was stakes placed on turf last year in the Parks Phillies Oaks. Then she won a claiming race at Aqueduct where she was able to get to an easy lead. She has shown the ability to sit just off the pace in the past, but she might be most effective on the lead. Back up against older horses is Jabuta Kaba. Maybe I would use her as a B. As of right now, I'm thinking of using the 9, 13, and 14 as A's and the 12 as a B in the opening leg of Friday's Stronach 5, the 8th at Laurel Park. Let's go to Gulfstream for leg B. This is race number 10, and it's one of those races with plenty of first-time starters. It's a 5-furlong turf dash, a maiden special weight for fillies and mares, and a fascinating runner for me is the number 3, First Grade Girl. I don't think we're going to get the 20-1 on the morning line. She is a daughter of American Pharaoh that was a $525,000 buyback as a yearling, and the dam was a stakes-winning dirt sprinter. The American Pharaohs have done very well on turf. First Grade Girl looks like she is bred to sprint on the turf, and she is a first-time starter that I want to use prominently in this Stronach 5 wager. The horse on the outside, the number 12, Fuddled, seems very logical. She has the experience edge over First Grade Girl. This filly sold for $362,000 as a yearling overseas, made her belated debut on March the 27th. I thought she ran very well and gained a lot of experience from that race. She ended up in the pocket, in behind horses. She finally got to the outside, and she was second best to the favorite while really rolling in the lane. That race really should move Fuddled up from a fitness standpoint, and she just looks like the major danger in here. If I want to use a backup, it might be the 7, She's Just Quality, who was claimed out of her career debut. I thought she ran decently that day. She saved ground in the pocket, altered course to the outside. She was very green in the stretch, but she was also game to be second in between horses. The third place finisher came back to earn a $75 Beyer, went second in a $65,000 $100,000 maiden claimer, but she is now stepping up in class. She is just quality to the maiden special weight ranks. 3 and 12 my A's, 7 my backup for leg B at Gulfstream Park in this week's Stronach 5 wager. Let's head out west. Santa Anita, leg C, race number 3, mile on the turf, $50,000 claiming event. The 3, 1,000 Dreams, the 8 going to Vegas, the 1, Too Much Heaven. Having trouble separating these 3 right now. Let's talk a little bit about Going to Vegas, who won 2 and 3 starts back and then just might have been in a little bit tough last time out. And now winners of one other than Optional Claimer. She broke from post position 11. The runner-up that day came back to finish second in the Cal Oaks on synthetic at Golden Gate with a 76 Beyer speed figure. She's getting a little bit of class relief. I think she has a little bit of tactical speed as well. She does not necessarily need the lead. There are some stretch-out sprinters in here that might be going to the front and set things up for her. I think she's kind of a must-use at a relatively short price. 1,000 Dreams, the 3, another horse dropping in class. In her first start against winners, it was her first race off of an extremely long layoff, and I think Doug O'Neill was just prepping her running for 5.5 furlongs. She saved ground inside. She ran on at the end of that race. The second-place finisher came back to run second again with an 84 Beyer speed figure. That horse has been on the board in her last 5 starts. 1,000 Dreams now stretches back out to the distance of her win 2 starts back. I think she'll be forwardly placed, and she has a lot of upside potential. Too Much Heaven for Peter Urton, back on the turf after a couple of dirt races, and she ran some really nice turf races in January and February. Winner 3 starts back. Okay race. Against Going to Vegas on February the 29th, a race in which she ran second after showing some speed. She draws a nice inside post position, and she could save some ground. I think 1,000 Dreams, the 3, Going to Vegas, the 8, very, very interesting. Too Much Heaven might be my backup in race number 3 at Santa Anita, leg C of this week's Stronach 5. Back to Laurel for leg D, 5.5 furlongs on the turf, $25,000 maiden claiming event. Again, several first-time starters. The 6, Eagle Keeper looks very interesting to me. This is a son of Tis Now, a half to a stakes-placed dirt sprinter that also was a first turf winner. The dam grade 2 placed sprinting. The second and third dam graded stakes winners sprinting. This horse bred to be a turf sprinter, at least at the outset of his career. I think Eagle Keeper will run well first time out for Live Oak Plantation, Michael Trombetta. Cool Khan, the number 2, very tough to trust. He's 0 for 28 lifetime, but he's now making his first start for Jose Corrales, whose horses are all firing right now at Laurel Park, first back off the pandemic break. Cool Khan has big early speed, and in this turf sprint against several first-time starters, that could be half the battle. I think Cool Khan will be in charge when the field turns into the stretch, and maybe this horse drifts a little bit off the 3-1 morning line. Not trustworthy again. This is 29th lifetime start, but Cool Khan's speed makes him very dangerous. I think a couple of long shots that you might want to consider, something from a pedigree standpoint as backups. So the 3, More Twirl, the 10, Spider Bite. More Twirls by Twirling Candy, a very solid turf stallion. The dam won 5 times on the turf. Trainer Susan Cooney has sent out debut winners in the past at Laurel. Madam X comes to mind. That horse was a decent price when that horse won first time out sprinting. Spider Bite's the other one. The dam won 4 turf routes, and Spider Bite's dam has already thrown a turf winner. This horse has raced twice on the dirt, has not run well at all. I'm going to gamble that this horse doesn't like dirt at all, that this horse has been turf meant all along, and that Spider Bite's going to really improve with a switch to the grass. So I'm going to go 2 and 6 as my A's, the 6 the preferred play, the first-time starter for Trombetta, 3 and 10 as backups, Laurel, race 10, leg D. Let's conclude this week's Stronach 5 sequence with leg E, race number 5 at Golden Gate Fields, 2-year-old maiden, going 5 furlongs on the Tapeta surface. Trainer Blaine Wright has a strong hand of first-time starters in here. The 2, Calavito, is 2-1 on the morning line by Smiling Tiger out of a stakes-winning mare. The 7, Sale e Vale, is by Creative Cause. May not have the same pedigree, but I think Sale e Vale might be a little bit interesting at a better price. It looks like he and Calavito have been working right together. 9-2 on the morning line for Sale e Vale. I'd like to use him. I'd also like to use the number 1, Mondo, who has an experience edge over most of these horses. He's run once. He showed decent speed in that race. It was a good second-place finish at a nice price, and I think Mondo should show speed again. I think he's just very logical, coming right back in start number 2. The first-time starter I am most interested in is the number 6, Blakeford. Blakeford sold for $39,000 as a yearling. He is by Mr. Big, who is a very high percentage debut stallion. The dam was a sprint winner, and if you go back in this family, there is a lot of class. The third dam, Grade 1 winner, Gorgeous. Blakeford is 15-1 on the morning line for trainer Jed Josephson. Couple of interesting workouts on display. I think this horse has license to show some speed. Bred for sprint on both sides. So Blakeford the 6 at 15-1, Mondo the 1 at 3-1, and maybe the other Blaine Wright firster, the 7, Sale Ivale, 9-2 on the morning line, would be my 3 selections in leg E at Golden Gate Fields. What a tough Stronach 5 sequence. The action begins at Laurel Park with race number 8, an approximate post time of 4:25 Eastern, $100,000 guaranteed gross pool, low 12% takeout for the $1 Stronach 5. Best of luck.